Hi Pisces, welcome to your love reading for March 2017. We are working with two decks again, so let's go ahead and begin. This is going to be for confirmation. We will get to that in a minute, but first let's get 9 cards for you from this deck. And this is a love reading for the sign of Pisces for March 2017. The first card that you have, Pisces, is the King of Pentacles. Love reading for Pisces for March 2017. The King of Swords. Love reading for Pisces, March 2017. Ten of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Pisces for March 2017. Two of Swords. Love reading for Pisces for March 2017. Three of Cups. Love reading for Pisces for March 2017. Justice. Love reading for Pisces for March 2017. Seven of Swords. Love reading for Pisces for March 2017. Two of Cups. Love reading for Pisces for March 2017. You have the Five of Swords. Okay, so the card at the bottom of the deck is going to represent the main energy around your love life for March. And you have another court card. You have the King of Wands. So this would be someone who is a fire sign, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. I mean, we'll see how this ties in with the rest of the reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and take it one card at a time. You have the King of Pentacles. So this would be someone who is an earth sign, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. Now, what's interesting is that you have it right next to another court card. You have the King of Swords. So this would be someone who is an air sign, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. So this is interesting. I don't think this has happened at all in any of the readings that I've done for March. But there's this, very important message next to these two kings, the Ten of Wands. And this represents the kind of exhaustion. This represents a really kind of low energy, a heavy burden. Somebody being completely and utterly fed up with a situation, to where you can't take any more challenges, you can't take another argument, another fight. I feel like there's a strained relationship between these two people. And for some of you, I feel like one of these energies can represent you, especially if your moon or rising sign is an earth sign or an air sign, or you might be in the energy. I definitely feel like you represent one of these for those who are coupled, and then your partner represents the other one. So the King of Pentacles, if it's not someone who's an earth sign, it's someone who's very material. Very material. It could be someone that's very interested, in money and acquiring material possessions, someone very grounded, someone very stable, conservative. And the King of Swords would be someone, if they're not an air sign, this would be someone who's more intellectual, or more of a person that deals with facts and logic rather than with their emotions. So you are a water sign. So I would see, depending on, I'm not an astrologer, but depending on where your moon and your Venus and your rising sign, some of you may not be getting along with an air sign. If you are this King of Pentacles, there's some type of strain on the relationship here with the Ten of Wands. Now, I do have to say, for those who are single, this could be that, there are opportunities for you here. I mean, you have 3 court cards. King of Pentacles, King of Swords, King of Wands. I feel like you have choices. And for those who are single, it could be that you're tired and you're fed up of looking for a romantic partner. This is someone that looks like they've already thrown in the towel. But these two people have come forward. There's a possibility of romance with someone who's an earth sign and someone who is an air sign. Now, kind of looking at this reading right now, I kind of feel like the King of Wands, this is more of an energy. Unless you really, there is a fire sign in your life. Because the King of Wands represents leadership, you taking control. This is very fiery, passionate energy. You going after the things that you want. You're putting yourself first. A very self-confident energy. And something's going on here between two people where one of them is completely fed up with what's going on in the relationship, with what's going on in their love life. Okay, so let's move on to the next row. Two of Swords. This is a very popular card this month. Not only this one, these two cards have come up for nearly every sign. If you go back and watch, kind of go through my videos, you will see this card in nearly every sign. And this has been a popular one as well. And this represents a difficult choice. It almost looks, whenever I look at this card, it looks like the person, this one, it looks like they have been arrested. I just kind of feel like, this represents a very complicated decision that you have to make. It's very complicated and you really don't want to make it. But this does represent a decision that has to be made, or you're going to be stuck in a difficult situation. It's something that has to be done even though you don't want to do it. And it's, I'm going to jump over here for now. You have the Justice card. This is a major arcana, so this is a very significant influence in your relationship, and it's the only major arcana that you have. And this represents fairness. It represents that there has to be a sense of balance. And I feel like, something is definitely out of balance. I mean, looking at the reading like this is a sense of balance and everything being fair. This is somebody being completely fed up and exhausted with what's going on in their love life or with their partner. And this can represent, an unwise decision or somebody sabotaging to the relationship. I'm going to get to this card in a minute. But, there's the need here for fairness and balance. This is a card of the underdog. When this card comes up, something's going on that's not fair to someone. And this is a difficult decision that has to be made. Remember, you're supposed to be taking the lead when it comes to your relationships and your love life. And I see, your happiness is right smack in the middle of all this, the Three of Cups. This can represent a marriage. This can represent a marriage, a couple, but this represents love, and happiness. So I feel like your happiness is at stake here. I feel like something is not fair to you. This could even represent an apology that's coming to you, but it does involve some type of difficult decision when it comes to your relationship. And I feel for many of you like your marriage is on the line here, where you need to kind of fix whatever it is that is broken, whatever it is that's not fair to you, whatever it is that's making you feel like you want to give up on the person. It's time to take your power back with the King of Wands. Now, for those who are single, this is a message that in the month of March, there's someone out there who can be marriage material. This is someone who can be your life partner. The Three of Cups is one of the few minors that can represent marriage. And this is someone that brings a lot of happiness into your life. This can also be someone that you have children with. And this could mean, the universe is kind of giving you back, so to speak. The Justice card represents, something being fixed that was not fair to you. So if you had someone who broke your heart in a horrible way, this is the universe giving you what you deserve. This committed partner. This could be for you a very complicated decision as far as getting involved in a relationship. Or, if you meet someone, you might feel like, I don't know if I can trust this person, and I don't know if I want to get involved. And for those who are single, the decision that you're making here that's complicated is allowing the person in. Okay, so let's move on to this row here. You have the Seven of Swords. This card, like I said, has come up in nearly every reading to where when it comes up now, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just a universal energy. This can represent deceit, but I feel like, this only applies to those of you who are coming into this reading, with certain doubts, as far as like let's see if certain cards come up, because many of you already know the tarot. You have the Five of Swords here as well. And this also represents someone who's not being upfront, someone who is kind of sabotaging things behind your back. And, it's something you want to take a close look at, because you have the Soulmate card right in the middle, the Two of Cups. This is a bond between two people. This is romantic love. These are two people that are, feel really connected. And I feel like, this message of deceit does not apply to everyone, so don't panic. I feel like if you really come into this reading knowing that you have certain doubts and you have evidence, so to speak, And this could be a confirmation for you, but not for everyone. But what I do see is that there's something that you have to do with the Seven of Swords being here. That's something you have to acknowledge. You can't be your own worst enemy. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. You have to be really upfront. And you know, it's lined up here with this decision, this difficult decision that has to be made, or this action, otherwise you're stuck. And you know, the Five of Swords. This card has come up a lot as well for many of the other signs. And this can represent an unwise decision that you're making. A decision, you know, if you move forward with this decision, you will kind of come back and wish that you could erase that and, you know, go down a different path. And for some of you, maybe for those who are single, you know, there's a lot of court cards in this reading. It could be that there's several people available to you, and you need to be careful where you place your trust, especially those who have been hurt. The universe is bringing you happiness. There's a potential life partner, but you need to be careful as far as who you let in. This could be someone that when you meet, you feel like this is the one, and it turns out that they are far from being the one. I feel like there's a lot of people, for those who are single, available to you. And I haven't even gotten to the confirmation cards yet. But for those who are already coupled, I just feel like you have to be cautious around your relationship. There are two messages here. The Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords. Caution regarding a relationship. And it could be, yes, that you have to make sure that everyone's being honest and upfront, but you also have the Justice card. You have to make sure that everything is fair. Something's going on here where something's not fair to someone. Either someone's being lied to, or somebody's not helping you in a relationship. You're the one doing all the work. The Five of Swords, like I said, it represents sometimes sabotage, working against someone behind the scenes. And this may not be, cheating or anything like that, but it could be that you're the one doing all the work. There is this message here of somebody being completely fed up and wanting to give up. So I feel like there's a need to really examine this if you feel this really applies to you. Okay, so let's see what other messages come up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Pisces for March 2017? The Five of Wands. Love reading for Pisces, March 2017. The Eight of Cups. Love reading for Pisces, March 2017. The Ten of Cups. Interesting. So there's more kind of complicated energy here. Something's definitely going on in your love life in the month of March. You have the Five of Wands. So this is a very fiery energy, and it means that people are not getting along. This is a very kind of petty energy. But you already have another five over here. The fives are always challenging energies. This is definitely more, kind of a more negative card, so to speak, than this one. But this does represent that your ego and your partner's ego are clashing. You want different things. You're very different. But this also represents a lot of misunderstandings, fighting, bickering, like I said, petty energy. And I feel like someone is very tired of this. Like you're tired of the back and forth, and you're tired of being treated unfairly with the Justice card here. There's a very difficult decision. And like I said, with the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords here, this is something that it's like it's time to look at this. It's time to see, if you're getting what you deserve. I see love here. I see a marriage, but I also see something. It's hard to say in a general reading what it is. It could represent deceit, but it's just something that's not fair to you. You also have the Eight of Cups. So this represents somebody walking away. If somebody has not walked away, that at least they're thinking about it. They're not happy. This is a card of, feeling very unhappy in a situation, and you feel like you would be happier elsewhere. You're thinking of leaving. This is a card of walking away. And it's right here next to the Justice card, which means that the universe wants to give you what you deserve. The universe wants to fix, something where you were done wrong. And this did come out, with the Five of Wands, which represents, a lot of pettiness and conflict, and possibly you and your partner not getting along and not understanding each other anymore. It's not going to end, relationships are not going to end for everyone. You do have the Ten of Cups. This is a marriage card. This represents, a happily ever after. The Eight of Cups can also mean that, you're choosing to leave emotional baggage in the past. Like I said, this can be an apology that is coming either from you or from your partner. Even though there are some challenging cards right here, you did have, a very happy energy that represents marriage and family and children and you and your partner staying together. And the Two of Cups, which is confirming this is, your soulmate, a very strong bond. You and your partner have a very strong bond. Yet there's this questionable energy of what is it that's going on here. And some of you may be choosing to kind of, walk away from a relationship, but some of you are needing an apology or needing things to be balanced out so that you don't feel like walking away anymore. Okay. Let's see, I went over couples. Let me just mention singles. Like I said, I feel like here, for the singles, let's start with the first card. The Five of Wands. I feel like for singles, this represents like you fighting yourself. The Five of Wands, if it's not other people, this can represent you're fighting your own ego. It's some type of internal struggle. Like you want to look for love, but you don't want to be hurt. So there could be, a struggle. And I feel like you definitely want to put yourself out there with all these court cards out here. The King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the King of Wands. It's time to leave the emotional baggage in the past. This is you walking away for those who are single. Walking away from the past, forgetting about it, and moving on. And you do have this message from the Ten of Cups telling you that there's a possibility of meeting someone in the month of March that can be your life partner. This can be your happily ever after, but not if you're choosing to hold on to the past and you're kind of fighting yourself as far as moving on. Okay, so let's see what this deck wants to tell you. What other messages are there for the sign of Pisces for March 2017? You have the Ace of Wands. Love reading for Pisces, March 2017. The Sun. Love reading for Pisces, March 2017. Ten of Cups. Okay, so the card at the bottom of this deck is the Ace of Swords. So this represents, a new beginning. This represents the truth as well. It's time to kind of face the truth, be honest with yourself and with your partner. This can also represent a new way of looking at your relationship, a new way of looking at your love life. Okay, so I did notice you have a repeating card. It took a while for me to get to it. I felt like that's why I kept shuffling through the deck. You have the Ten of Cups, and you already have the Ten of Cups from the other deck. So when these cards come up, from two different decks, this is probably the most important message for you in the whole reading. And this, like I said, this represents a marriage. This represents children. This represents a happily ever after. So if you're already coupled, if you're married, this represents that your marriage is strong. This represents that your marriage can withstand anything. If you're single, this represents that there's the possibility of you meeting your life partner in the month of March, of you finding this happily ever after. And like I said, with all these court cards in this reading, I would definitely pay attention to that, leaving the past in the past. You also have a new beginning here, the Ace of Wands. So I feel like if you have been struggling, let's start with couples. If you have been struggling, and I definitely see some red flags in this reading, but I also see a lot of happiness and, a lot of confirmations that, you have a very strong relationship with the Three of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and then the Ten of Cups showing up again over here. This is a new life. This represents that you can start over. You and your romantic partner, you and your life partner, you can start over. This is a fresh start, a clean slate. But I definitely feel like there's work to be done, possibly an apology. Everything has to be fair to everyone. It could be a decision, a very difficult decision that has to be made. This has to be looked at. I don't know what this is. Seven of Swords, Five of Swords, with, a marriage or relationship right in the middle of all this. And then the Ten of Cups is over here. You can have that fresh start, that new beginning with your partner. Everything is not lost. I feel like somebody feels like everything is just over. It's done. I feel like everything is not lost. This represents a new life, an entirely fresh start for you and your partner. This can also represent the birth of a child, especially, you know, with the sun being here, which could also represent children and marriage, and the Ten of Cups as well. Now, for those who are single, this can just represent, you know, it's time for a new beginning for you. It's time for a fresh start when it comes to love. And you also have another new beginning here in the Ace of Swords. So you have the Sun. So this can also represent marriage and children, but this represents positive energy. So yes, there are some challenging cards in this reading. They're all over the place, but the Sun is the most positive card in the major arcana. When it comes up, it's guaranteeing a positive outcome. So whatever it is that you're facing, know that there will be a positive outcome. Especially if it has to do with this difficult decision that you have to make. This will work out in your favor. And like I said, the repeating card, 10 of Cups. You already have this. This is your marriage. This is a happily ever after. Or for those who are single, this represents that this is the time for you to look for that partner. Okay, Pisces, this has been your love reading for March 2017. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.